Hi, everybody.
Hey, everybody, welcome to TFT, Tarot for Today, Divine Dabblings with
Oberon.
and me, Banshee. And guess what? It's my birthday!
And it's also time for another
Monthly modality message. Because on this day, the sun is entering the sign of Taurus after my birthday time.
Even though you were clearly in Aries.
Yes. Barely.
You were barely in Aries.
Really, I think it went into Taurus like 2 hours after I was born, so yeah.
So anyways, this is our unique Tarot Astrological kind of based reading. No one else does anything quite like this, where we look at your modality, because besides your elemental association, you have a modality, a way of being. Either you're cardinal, you're mutable,
you're fixed or mutable.
Right. And so our reading is hoping to get you through the month to the next sun sign, kind of telling you what are your best prospects and what are the energies or things you should focus on.
What indeed.
So we start off with the cardinal modalities. And cardinals are Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn. Would you like to read some of the positive?
Oh, absolutely. I cannot help but read the positives for Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn. We are initiators. We get things started. We're active. We're quick. We have drive. We have ambition. We have vim and vigor. No slacking. We're enthusiastic. We have a zest for life. And we're clever and want to win. We want to win.
Well, that means I must now bring up the negatives.
Oh, funny. You should mention that.
So cardinal signs could be too domineering or self-centered. They could forget about others as they focus on their stuff. And sometimes they don't actually finish the stuff that they start.
That would be a lot.
Right. So we're off to the reading then, and there are 4 cards. We'll start with card 1, of course, which is the primary focus this next sun cycle for the cardinal signs the month ahead.
Well, we were supposed to shuffle, weren't we?
Yes, I know. I'm going to shuffle right after you. You didn't think I would?
People might forget the first card in the reading by then.
I'll repeat it. Or you can repeat it.
Maybe I will. And maybe I won't.
All right. And we use the Celestial Tarot. We've been doing the monthly modality message for at least 2 years now, maybe 3.
It's by Kay Stevenson and Brian Clark. And it's a nice astrological tarot deck.
I really resonate a lot to the use of this deck for this program, so I hope you will like it too. Alrighty.
Well, alrighty. So it's the primary focus for the cardinal signs, the modalities, in the month ahead. And Sunny is down here. Uh-oh. It's the King of Cups reversed, Mr. O.
Oops. King of Cups reversed, the primary focus.
Well, it's about your emotions. Something emotional, something that's upset you, I think is your primary focus. It's also getting yourself, trying to get yourself composed and back together again instead of being, I don't want to say a pouty little baby, but maybe that would fit.
Cardinal signs, you may be thinking you want to clam up a little bit, like you don't really want to be warm and communicative like you might normally be in most situations. And it just could be that it's like what Banshee says, something's upsetting us, or somehow you feel that there's no value or point in being, more warm or friendly. Maybe you feel like nobody takes your advice anyway. What is this about?
Well, we can see what the role cardinal signs' interactions with others may play in the month ahead. Oh, and it's the Ace of Pentacles reversed. Well, I wonder about this now, cardinal signs. You might be emotionally upset over some project or goal you were hoping to start. Maybe you were hoping to get a new job. Maybe you were hoping to find a new source of income, get a loan or something like that to help you initiate something new. And lo and behold, setbacks, delays, it doesn't seem to be taking root.
It's possible you were depending on a little bit of assistance or support from some others. That's the interaction with others.
Right.
And, you know, there are things about the Pentacles that maybe do talk to about situations that are foundational in our lives. And one of those could be support groups like families or other aspects of communities. So maybe your feeling is that they're not with you, supporting you in this, or that maybe they are even actively creating delays for you or little obstacles for you.
So basically, getting a loan and getting a job involves people. So, you know, that's your interactions with people, is a sense of maybe a rejection that's affected you financially in some way, or in, you know, business sense. Maybe also it could be that if you are interacting, you know, you're in customer service or you're selling things to the public, they're not buying. They're not buying right now.
Indeed.
All right. So, the opportunities or challenges you may face in the month ahead, and how can you best tackle them? Well, it's the Seven of Swords. That's an interesting card.
And it's
here.
upright.
Yeah. I'm gonna let you go first. I have an idea, but I'm gonna let you go.
Okay, well, it actually looks to me like maybe if this is all maybe in some sense of a connective tissue going on here, you may feel you can't totally be honest, or may even have to be a little bit shady about how you plan or bring people into certain situations, whether they're work situations or whether they're other kinds of projects, or if they're just even into relationships. But we're looking at this as opportunities or challenges. And so based on the first card and the other card, it just mostly seems like this is a month for maybe examining and repairing some of the relationships you have in different levels, co-workers, you know, neighbors, etc.
Well, if this is related to this, which I think it might be, you know, the opportunity could also be a challenge. I mean, it's one or the other here. I feel like, you know, with this card, it's about revealing too much, not revealing enough, being too secretive, maybe some, you know, things that you wanted hidden. For example, I'm just throwing this out there. If you were trying to cover some of your financial debt, so you could get a loan at a better interest rate or get the loan you desired, maybe you were found out.
Well, when I look at the first card and I said, you know, there was a clamming up thing there, and maybe that's talking about wanting to hold back from revealing things.
Well, that could fit here. Clearly, you know, this is an idea of, is it, you know, this is an opportunity for you to either, well, I think it's an opportunity for you to try to ferret out the truth, or to maybe play your cards more closely to your chest in order to, you know, get what you desire. Sometimes revealing too much, like for example, even in a job interview, if you reveal too much about yourself, you know, they may say, that's a little too much information. Aren't they a little interesting snowflake? We want them on our staff? You know,
never know, right?
So you got to be careful of what you say in, you know, certain circumstances.
So card 4 then, how can you use your modalities superpower to its best advantage?
Burn them down.
Yes.
It's the Ten of Swords, which is a backstab to yourself, which I don't think is what's meant here. I think what it's meant here is that, wow, what do you think?
It could be saying that your modality superpower is to understand that there is opposition to your goals, and that it could even be, you know, pretty considerable. And so this is a warning more than anything to maybe watch your enemies. What is the saying? You know, keep your your friends close but keep your enemies closer, something like that. I don't remember the saying exactly. But it could be saying that just you should be wary of some possible, back turns here. Maybe that's your spider sense. Because when you think about it, in my opinion, that Seven of Swords doesn't necessarily bode well either. So maybe there is some controversy going on around you and other situations.
You know what? It's an interesting thing getting the Ten of Swords, because we've often said that the worst is behind you now, and maybe the best way to use your modality superpowers, you're supposed to be active, you're supposed to be quick, you're supposed to be driven. So not to let this get you down, not to dwell in this depression over the loss, but to just move yourself forward. Keep on keeping on. Move past this hurt. Move past what you might feel is a betrayal here, or some setback, and move forward. Just keep striving.
And I think as a special, caveat, I think Cancers and Capricorns may have a little tougher go of it, because they may tend to look back with regret in some cases. Aries and Libra are less likely to do that, but I think that was probably a good enough summation of the whole process.
Yes, thank you. I think so. I think we're done. So basically, just watch your emotions. Don't let them get the better of you. Move past this.
I like that.
You're in for some sort of financial or business setback that others are rejecting a proposal, a job, application, whatever the case may be, a loan, etc.
Support your fellow Cardinals. Once I got it.
That's okay. You shuffle first. All right, so let's talk about those darn fixed signs. Fixed signs are Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius.
We'll fix your wagon.
Well, I don't know why I'm left to talk about the positives when I should.
Shall I then?
I think you should.
All right. Well, we have positives that are superlative. Our positives are steadiness and stable, determined, resolute, self-reliant, forging ahead, calmly working on objectives. Remember those who've helped them. Persistence, concentration, powerful yet purposeful, no wasted emotions.
Yeah, that's all fine and good.
Just extreme ones.
Let's talk about those negs, shall we?
Yes, sure.
Sometimes they can be a little stubborn, to say the least. My way or highway thinking. They have a tendency to get stuck in their ways because they're fixed signs. So they don't want to budge. And they are oftentimes believing they are right. They are always right.
I may not always be right.
See you, Scorpio.
But I am never wrong.
All right. I'll shut up.
Yes.
I got that off my chest. I'll shut up.
That's good, Banshee. That's good.
Oops. Okay.
All right, card one.
Card one is the primary focus for the fixed signs, fixed modalities for the month ahead.
And it's the Ace of Pentacles upright. Our friend from last time is in a better move for the
lucky
fixed signs.
You.
Yes, indeed.
All right. So that's awesome. I think your focus for the month ahead for Taurus season is to get something initiated, financial things. There may be job offers coming to you. There may be business success. If you're starting up a new project or goal or business, green light, this is the time. But don't forget, aces mean You can't just start it up and let it go. You're going to have to roll up your sleeves and put some work and tending to it to make it grow.
Aces are beginnings, so there has to be a follow-through, but this augments a really good beginning, and it not necessarily just specifically finances or economy, but I kind of feel that a little bit. But this talks about, foundational things that maybe affect your home life, how comfortable or secure you feel in your home, things like that. Maybe just also to understanding, what's going on with your community. This could be something that's giving you a new role in your community of sorts.
Maybe you're starting up a new health regime as well.
There you go.
All right, so the role your interactions with others might play in the month ahead.
Bam, it's the upright lovers.
Wow. Well, they always say choose your friends wisely. It looks like people are allied with you. People have your best interests at heart. It seems as though whatever you're trying to initiate and start up here, potentially, they're excited about helping you. Maybe make some moves, choices, or decisions to get this thing off the ground. There's definitely a supportive atmosphere where others are concerned. So again, if you're trying to get a promotion, a loan, get a business off the ground, there just seems to be support.
And I'm looking at something a little bit more specific to the idea of Taurus season and the Lover's card. And I'm wondering, too, if maybe people that your friends, closer or not so close, come to you for advice about relationships sometimes, or questions about their status in relationships. And people see you as being wise enough or helpful enough to possibly help them navigate some of that. So I think that's, another role that your interactions with people will take on, is you may be a little bit of a Cupid or counselor type person.
Well, now that you went there, I would just also go to the fact that sometimes the Ace of Pentacles is about a new relationship, or maybe even a marriage that's now establishing a home. And so I think the Lover's card plays into that as well, that, you're very emotionally attached to somebody right now, a significant other. Maybe this is a bold new start for you.
So then our third card, meaning what opportunities?
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were going to read it. I thought you were going to read it.
No.
The opportunities or challenges that you might face in the month ahead, and how best to tackle them.
I don't know if this gives us a clue for handling. It's the upright 10 of Wands. So your opportunities may be taking on more work, but some of this may be really advancing your career or other objectives at the expense of that. So you could think of things that are maybe apprenticeships or journeyman things, or learning experiences where you will have to take on a little bit more in order to better yourself for some other opportunity, possibly related to business or networking.
Well, I will say it as a challenge in this case. I think the challenge that you face here is, the burden of the work involved in getting whatever you're starting up off the ground. Even if it's a new job, you might be leaving an old job. You may have loose ends to tie up there. You may have a lot of work ahead of you. You may have a lot of preparation. Whatever the case may be, this may be an opportunity, though, for you to look at that Lover's card there where other people are concerned and see if you can't get a hand from someone else to help you lighten your load.
Nice.
All right.
Then finally, card 4.
The final card is, how can you use your modalities, superpowers, to best advantage this month?
Wow. And it's the second 10. It's once again, the 10 of Swords upright. So it's another 10. And 10s, of course, can indicate kind of endings of cycles.
Well, what is up with that? So, yeah, that is interesting. It's like the worst is behind you. There was nothing bad here. That's
where it came up for
I know
the Cardinals.
I know. But everything is good here, which does make me wonder. I hate to say it to you guys who fix signs, but it's possible here let me go and look at your superpowers again. That, you know, I feel here, in a way, this is some of your anti-powers, you know. It's possible here that your stubbornness could get the better of you and maybe cause some people to betray, you know, not follow through with either the help that you needed, or maybe, you know, this will tank your new beginning.
Well, in my scenario, you were possibly, you know, trying to give advice to friends, you know, in the way of relationships or things. And I'm wondering if that could indicate, you know, the sense of it backfiring. But it's a superpower situation, and I'm just wanting to consider that maybe with those signs represented there in the fixed sign, that they're probably already thinking of the outcome ahead of that. You know, the idea that maybe even though it wasn't a good outcome, they kind of cleared some things, and now they're poised for a future. And so, you know, I can look at all of those signs in the fixed area and say, well, they do have their selfish moments.
Well, I think you're going to have to, you know, I think here that this could align with this card in that maybe it's possible here, you know, people who you try to enlist to help you kind of won't have your back. And so, you know, you're disappointed, you're upset, you feel betrayed. I don't think it's going to be, for some reason, even though it's such a devastating card to get, that it's really going to be that hard here because of all of these other positive
Do you
cards.
see all do you see the train going through there?
Well, not
It's a
as
little
easily
hard.
as with the Cardinals. I
Yeah.
would say most of this fits, though, in that, you know, for my scenario, I felt here a new beginning, a fresh start, a startup of a business or a new job, a growth in goals. This idea here that others have your back, they are willing to help you make the moves, the choices, decisions you make. They might be offering you some sound advice. I think here that, you know, you have a lot of burdens in getting this off the ground. There's a lot of work and a lot of busyness. But ultimately, I feel here, and you could ask for help. That's the point of this card, is maybe you need some help. And, you know, it seems like it might be available here with this card. However, seeing the Ten of Swords, I feel that maybe not. Maybe people back off, let you down in the end. Is it possible that if you thought you had this new job, suddenly at the last minute, you find out differently?
So your superpower may be having to go it alone or on minimal support because you're used to that. But it's kind of interesting because I think that with the Lovers being sort of a benefactorial role you kind of playing, but then all of a sudden, you know, you're sort of deserted in the end. It's sort of an irony for...
Well, you know, you're right. I didn't really tackle the superpower part. What I would say with this card is, and you are self-reliant, so he just brought that up. I would say be calm, remain stable. One of your things is about stability. And so if things get rocky and somebody rocks the boat or upsets you in some way, play it cool. You know, just play it cool and go and get past it.
All right.
All right. Let's move on to our friends, the Mutables.
Mutables.
Hi, Mutables. And you are...
Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, and Pisces.
You know, those Mutables, they're nice people. They go with the flow. They're adaptable. They're flexible. They're versatile. They're highly resourceful. They can change when necessary. They're quite easy to please. And they can assume various personas, sort of like, you know, like a chameleon. They can change their skin accordingly. And they're well liked by others. They enjoy learning. They play fair. They're diplomatic. They're sharp. They're sympathetic. They can see below the surface. They're selfless. And they're very quick to help others.
But
there is a dark side.
there is a dark side. Negatives are tries too hard to please everyone. They can be wishy-washy, inconsistent, downright duplicitous. Gemini looking at you. No, never mind. Can stretch themselves to the breaking point. But hey, you know, all of these guys have their ups and downs. They're
That's
no
right.
better or worse than any other
We're
sign.
all only human.
Yes. More human than human. But I don't know how to sing that one. So Banshee is spared.
Oh my God. Are you dropping my cards, Mr. O?
I did.
Uh-oh.
Got it.
Okay.
All right. The primary focus for the mutables.
Uh-oh. It's the Wheel of Fortune reversed. Well, the primary focus for you mutables is how to turn this bad luck around, or how to, how to make progress during stagnant times, or when luck doesn't seem to be on your side. And maybe ultimately, we all need to ride that Wheel of Fortune. We need to ride it, whether it's on the plus side, whether it's on the bottom side. We need to go with the flow. So the best way to navigate through times of bad luck may be to lay low. Don't take any risks. Don't take any gambles. Lay low till the cycle has on an upswing once more.
Well, you did kind of take some of the words out of my mouth, because I was thinking that's clearly it. The primary focus is being able to navigate through some unexpected things that may happen in the next 30-ish days or so. Things that maybe you might have realized could happen, but when they happened, they were unexpected, and so they kind of mess it up. But like Banshee says, it may be just a better time for you to kind of understand that, for most, not most, but at least half of this, we're going to still be dealing with the effects of Mercury retrograde.
Right.
So consider that.
All right. So what about what is the next one?
Card 2, the role that your interactions will play with others during the month.
It's the King of Swords upright.
All right. And that's interesting because, of course, maybe due to the mishaps and unexpected things, you want to sort of stake out your power in a way. So if any of this was, intersecting with your work life or your relationship life or other things lives, you may be trying to be a little bit more assertive about that, or even possibly feeling that you know the best answers, And some of that is, of course, because you are using clarity of mind kind of stuff to help you out with that.
I like that because, I was going to say that, rather than being at the mercy of externals, you want to take control. You want to take charge, You want to take the lead on whatever is going wrong here because you're impacted by it. And you can leave your fate into the hands of others, or you can take the bull by the horns and make the tough decisions you need to make to try to turn this bad cycle around.
All right.
Or to deal with it appropriately.
So what are the opportunities or challenges that you may face in this month ahead, and how best may you be able to achieve them or tackle them? And it is the Princess of Wands, who is the proxy for the Page of Wands. Pages are usually about things beginning, or the idea of germinating some idea.
Well. The opportunity or challenge you face is whether you really can get something started, get something going that you had hoped to. When the cycle is bad, I wouldn't recommend it. This could also be about messaging, that the opportunity or challenge is how to either how to break the bad news if this is work related and you have to break the bad news to employees. And like, for example, don't be like, I won't say who, but some billionaire whose company just laid off 10% of their workforce. That might give you a hint. Has just sent out, he sent out all these letters of, what do you call it? Separation, and giving the terms of separation. And he recalled a number of them because supposedly they were done incorrectly. So, so messaging is critically important, especially when you got to give out bad news, like you're laying off people. So messaging is incredibly important here, and if you want to get ahead, I think it's an opportunity, but it's also could be a challenge.
I really like that, and I was going to go with that, so I'm just going to kind of restate it briefly, because what I see, of course, is the idea that wherever it was in business life, career life, vocational, relationship life, navigating through the unexpected may be something you can do, but being able to communicate that to others that may be affected will be a little bit of a challenge for yourself. And so I think that this is really about clarity and conciseness of the way you communicate with people with whatever this is regarding, if it's about that. All right.
All right. And so how can you mutables use that modality superpowers of yours without getting into trouble? And look what it is. It's the Knight of Pentacles.
And it's the Knight of Pentacles. The Prince of Pentacles is the Knight of Pentacles.
You know what? It's very interesting because it kind of harkens back to the advice I gave at the beginning. If times are tough and things are not going your way, slow it down. Slow it down. Move methodically. Analyze your situation. Make plans. Do not move forward without a good plan. And, that I think is really sound advice here. And, it's your superpower. You go with the flow. The flow is bad right now. So you got to take it slow and flow with this until the wheel spins in your direction.
I really like this. And when I look at the mutable signs, I see there's kind of a little bit of a nod towards that. Some of you are better predisposed towards maybe, regulating your cycle. Some of the others, maybe it won't be as easy, but you will be able to do this. And I think this is wonderful advice. This is really all based on what's no doubt going on because of the retrograde and where it intersects with the issues you may have going on in your life. No matter where it is, business or relationships or whatever, the best way to navigate and get through this is your superpower to really maybe bring in a level of focus by slowing things down.
Wasn't there another lunar eclipse coming too and stuff? So
I thought that was 2 weeks prior to the solar
eclipse.
Maybe there
okay.
was another one, I'm not sure, but
I'm
there was
sure.
a lunar.
Maybe you're right.
Nobody talked about it. It was 2 weeks prior to the big solar one, so there you go.
Okay.
But let's wrap it up.
Well, to wrap it up, to make it a wrap, I would say things are not going well right now, so don't push the envelope. Don't take any risks with your money, with your jobs, whatever, with your relationships. Just don't, because it's a time to kind of go with the flow right now and realize things are a little bit rocky. So why make a move or decision that you might regret later? And then looking at that again, you need to take control of the situation. You need to be in charge. You need to make the decisions here moving forward.
Right. Despite everything, this is clearly something that is probably interacting with other people. And you guys, you mutables, are probably the ones who are best able to do this. You just seem to have that ability.
Well, you want to get something off the ground. That's the opportunity. You really would like to do it. But timing really is working against you right now. And so, if you've got to communicate with others over any of this, do be careful with the messaging and the communications you send out. Because, again, Mercury is still retrograde, as he has pointed out. And, conditions are just not in a good spot for this.
Less is more, so be concise too in this time.
And ultimately,
slow it down.
Slow it down. Take it slow. Take it methodical.
Smell the flowers.
Think and strategize before you start making your slow tortoise-like moves. All right. That's what we have for you, mutables. Good luck with that.
And so that's it for all of the modalities. We wish Taurus a very happy
birthday to our friends, the Taurians. And also, you'll see us again in another month when the sun goes into the sign of Gemini, the twins.
And it'll be before you know it. Somewhere in between there, of course, will be our unhappy hour, which is based on the astrological notion or whatnot of the fourth quarter phase of the moon.
And that's where we get to tell you where does it hurt and how to turn that frown of yours upside down.
All right.
All right. Hey, take care, everybody. Hope to see you really soon at one of our live shows. Take care. We'll see you soon.